Get Jason back up there.
You said you pointed the firearm at him, and Mr. Violet continued to come at you at a fast pace.
I believe that's what I said there. That is correct.
So it's what you said, and you agreed that that is not what is depicted on the video.
I do not believe I saw him approaching at a fast pace in the video. That's correct.
But just this distance piece, you claim that when you brought out the firearm, and this is at 49, line 21, that he was at 10 feet away. Correct?
Yes, that is what I said.
But that's the point you claimed when you brought out the firearm, and then you said he continued to close the distance by walking rapidly at you.
Where's that?
What's that?
Where is that?
That's what we were just talking about. First of all, you established about a 10-foot distance from when you pulled out the firearm, but you claimed to the police and to this jury that he continued to walk towards you, right?
I claimed that right there when I watched the video.
No, not right there. Repeatedly to the officer. You can see that at 48, line 13 or 14. He was coming back at me like he was ready to go after you drew the firearm. That's at 14, line 13.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, so if we combine that at 49, you said it's 10 feet that you brought out the firearm, and he continued to walk it towards you at a very rapid rate before you fired it. He's about 3 to 5 feet away, according to your claim, to the police.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to back you up. I'm just confused as to what you're saying here. You just said 10 feet, now 3 to 5 feet.
You brought out the firearm, and you could read this for the jury. You brought out the firearm when he was 10 feet away.
That's correct.
How far away was he when the gun first came out? This is a question, probably 10 feet.
I believe that to be accurate.
The police asked you, how did he react when the firearm came out? And you said, he actually continued to come at me, quickened his pace, appeared like he was going to attack me. So he's coming at you and quickening your pace from 10 feet away. You don't shoot the firearm until he's about 3 to 5 feet away from you. That was your claim. Like he's right on you.
Again, what was said here, I don't remember because it was that evening, and I was doing the best I could with what I could remember.
You would once again agree that that's not what the video depicts, correct? He's much further away.
I don't know where I said 3 to 5 feet.
That's when you actually shot him the second time, but I'm just doing basic,
I'm sorry.
distance and time.
Sorry, I thought we were talking about the first time I shot him.
We are. If you pulled out the gun at 10 feet, and he continued to walk rapidly towards you before you fired.
It's confusing.
He must be about 5 feet away, right?
Can I just ask one favor real quick?
Yeah.
I would like to answer you as honestly as possible. If we could just kind of slow it down
Yeah, no problem.
and stick with one thing at a time.
Sure.
You were referencing the first time I shot him,
and
then you just jumped to the second time I shot him. Sure. So I want to make sure I'm giving you an accurate and honest answer.
My bad. You pulled out the firearm.
That is correct.
You pointed it at him.
I did.
He was about 10 feet away, according to your claim.
I believe so, yes.
After you pulled out the firearm from 10 feet away, he continued to advance on you rapidly.
That is what I stated here. However, after watching the video, that is not what I saw.
Okay. In fact, it's just not true what you said there.
What I saw in the video is not what I said here. That is correct. And I told you, I was trying to do the best I could with what I remembered.
Yeah,
I just want to make this clear. Your claim.
He's human, man. Come on.
After pulling the firearm out, that he advanced on you rapidly.
This is why you don't talk to the police.
Isn't true, correct?
Not from what I saw in the video. That is correct.
It is what you claimed happened to the police.
That is correct.
And so your claim was he quickened his pace, and that's why you actually had to fire the firearm.
That is what I said in the statement.
And that's not true.
Not from what I saw in the video.
You nevertheless fired the firearm after Mr. Violet stopped and turned away from you.
Yes, I did.
Your claim that you shot him as he was coming at you was not true.
He was coming at me.
You shot him when he had stopped
So that
and
is
turned
true.
away from you.
Again, if we'd like to play the video and see the time elapse there, I mean, things are happening very quickly. We're not sitting in a courtroom in a perfect situation where things, we're talking about something that happened very quickly. So the time that it was there, I'm not 100%.
But you've seen the video repeatedly along with us, and you'd agree with me.
I'd love to watch with a timestamp so we can see how long that really was.
The jury's going to have that. Our question for you, without that, is whether you can adhere to the truth.
Absolutely.
Okay. You agree with me that Kyle Violet had stopped and turned before you fired the gun?
That is correct.
Okay. And so your claim that he was coming at you was a lie?
He was coming at me. You're talking in a matter of 2 seconds, a second and a half maybe. I don't know, but what I saw unfolding in front of my eyes, it would have been the exact second that he turned and the firearm fired. We're talking milliseconds, maybe a second.
He said
So I'm
Kyle
sorry
went.
that I misstated it in this.
And then he turned.
in the statement to the police. Everything happened very quickly.
He
and
flexed
I was doing
on
my
him.
best to try and help explain the situation.
You'd agree with me that you shot Kyle in the side of the head, or the front part of his head and his jaw?
From the evidence that we saw, there was a shot that happened. When it happened, I have no clue.
You don't have any idea where you shot him?
I have no idea when I shot him, where.
You told the police that the next 5 shots went into the lower part of his body.
I believe they did.
And that actually happened to be, for the most part, true. You shot him in the buttocks, the genitals, the abdomen, correct?
I believe so.
Lit him up.
And let's then talk about your claims about why you shot him 5 more times. The detective asked you, was it your intention to kill him? And your answer was no, just to stop him. And this concerns the next 5 rounds.
And that is correct. I've never wanted to kill anybody.
And you explained to the detective that you just wanted to stop him because after shooting him once in the head, it didn't stop him. That was your claim.
Again, if it's in here, that is what I told the detective.
And that's a lie.
That was me not knowing. That was me trying to help somebody. Did I purposefully lie? No, I did not. Did I maybe give misinformation because I couldn't put it together correctly in my head? That would be more likely.
You described in detail the effect that that first shot to his head had, that you said, I think it affected him as in he heard the shot, but it didn't stop him. You agree you said that? It's page 111, 6 through 8.
If it's in here, then I said it. However, is it what I remember? I don't remember what I said to them that evening.
Well, does this help your memory that that is what you in fact said?
It does not help my memory.
Would you agree that that was what you did say, based on what you see, is an absolute lie?
I'm not sure what you're saying.
Well, you claimed that the first shot didn't seem to affect him. That was a lie.
That's what I remembered, or I tried to piece together. What we saw in the video, that is incorrect.
You said the first shot didn't seem to stop him. That was a lie.
What I remembered was incorrect.
You, nevertheless, not remembering in this interview, continued to give detailed accounts of his reaction. It didn't hurt him.
But that's correct. Whatever's in here is what
You
I
claimed
said.
at the time that you did, in fact, have a memory of an observation. You said he flinched.
Again, I don't remember saying that. I don't remember him flinching.
The detective asked you, does he stay on his feet after that first shot? And you were able to give an answer. Not, I don't remember. Not, I'm tired. Not, I'm confused. You said, yeah, he stayed on his feet.
That is correct. That's what I said.
Your claim was not that you didn't remember how he reacted, but that he flinched and that he was still heading towards you after you shot him in the head.
I don't believe. Where does it say I shot? I said I shot him in the head.
You didn't say, let's keep it, that after the first shot, which shot him in the head, that he was still heading for you. Page 56, line 20. Let me be fair to you. I feel like I've misspoken. Garson at 13, does he stay on his feet? Your answer is, yeah. Well, when the first shot, his question goes off, and you said he turned, which way did he turn? So you mean he counterclockwise or clockwise, you asked, like which direction was he turning? So he turned, he was still heading for me. And then he started going back towards his house. That's after you shot him. He didn't continue towards you, did he?
What we saw in the video, he did not continue towards me. Again,
You were willing to describe to the officer that he was continuing to head towards you, and you actually gave the explanation. That's why I fired the rest of the shots. That's at page 134.
again, I don't remember what I said here. What I was trying to do was use the best of what I had for a memory of the situation and piece the things together.
Now let's just go to page 134, line 2. You actually give a detailed account. Questions asks, I'm more concerned about what happened with these next 5 shots. And you answer at line 4, the first shot didn't seem to stop him or to hurt, to stop him. That's why I fired the rest of the shots.
And then it says I don't. Again, I don't remember. I didn't remember. I was trying to piece together what I thought was what happened.
Well, you went on actually to say, let's follow up on it, I don't. Where was his body positioned on those next 5 shots? I
don't think this is
there
working.
You said he was on the ground, but that's only after he presents you with the video, correct?
I said that I believe he's on the ground. I don't see anywhere something what we're being presented with a video.
But before he said anything about the video, you said he was still on his feet, correct?
Again, I didn't have a clear memory. That's why I offered the video to help clear things up. I thought we could go over the video so we could all work on it together and see exactly what transpired.
He doesn't want to do that, though.
You were specifically asked at 56 whether he stayed on his feet, and you said, yeah, he was still heading towards me. He took a couple of steps, and that's why you unloaded the gun. Your words, unloaded, at page 57.5.
He was worried.
That is what I said there.
And you didn't say anything about him crawling away on the ground, right?
Again, I did not have a perfect memory of the situation.
Well, not just not perfect. You said he was walking towards you, that he, after the first shot, took a couple steps towards you, and that's why you had to shoot him 5 more times.
Again, what I said here
Yeah.
is what I was trying to remember at the time.
And that, at this point, you said the 5 additional rounds, you were standing 3 to 5 feet away, correct?
I don't know, where does it say 3 to 5 feet?
57, line 14.
So yeah, I mean, when I was standing, when I fired the last 5 shots, I believe I was probably about 5 feet away.
Yeah, and the reason you were 5 feet away is because you originally shot him from a distance away. You put the gun down, so there's absolutely no risk to you or anybody else, and you took probably 4 or 5 steps to close that distance. So you were 3 to 5 feet away, and that's when you unloaded 5 rounds on him, correct?
Correct, when he was going towards my steps.
I'm sorry. Your claim to the jury is with crawling on the ground with a headshot, that he continued to be a threat because he was crawling towards your porch?
That's the direction he was going, that's correct.
My question was, are you claiming to the jury that Mr. Violet was a threat, a lethal threat to you and your family when he was on the ground crawling away from you?
He was crawling towards my house, yes.
Maybe I'm confusing this question. My question to you is, was he a lethal threat to you and your family when he was crawling on the ground with a headshot?
At the time, that was my belief. And I did not know he had a headshot. I told you I don't know where the rounds hit.
You'd agree that he did not remain standing, correct?
Correct.
Your claim that he was a lie?
Again, we're referencing this, which I told you I don't remember. I was doing my best at the time to help them piece things together.
Jason's doing a great
You did
job.
not tell the police that he was crawling away. You said he continued to advance towards you, and that's why you shot him 5 more times. And even then, your claim is he didn't go to the ground. Is that page 50?
Again, I said this. This is why you don't talk to the police. Just don't talk to the police. Don't talk to the police. Don't talk to the police. Ask any attorney out there. They will tell you don't talk to the police. Do not talk to the police. Don't talk to the police. All right, I've said it enough, I think.
58, line 1.
Again, I was trying my best with what I remembered to help them. That's why I offered the video, because I didn't have a clear memory. I'm trying to help you understand that.
I'm trying to help the jury understand your claims at the time to the police to create a self-defense scenario. You claimed that you shot him once and he continued at you, and that's why you had to shoot him again.
Again, what it says here is what I said to the police.
And it was a lie.
It was not a purposeful lie. It may not have been what happened because I didn't have a clear memory.
You claim that after shooting him in the face, he came towards you, you shot him 5 times in the body, and he remained standing, held his abdomen, and that's when he walked back towards his
I never claimed I shot him in the face.
That he's holding his abdomen.
I did claim that. However, I never claimed I shot him in the face.
And that whole image, that detailed image you provided of him coming at you after he'd been shot, taking 5 rounds, and merely holding his abdomen and turning and walking away is also a complete and utter lie.
At the time, it's what I remembered, so that's what I told them.
Your claim here is that, the difference, the gap between him coming at you and him crawling away, bleeding on the street. Page 16, Exhibit 16, you'd agree that that is the blood trail that he left from you shooting him.
That's correct.
And this factual gap between him coming at you and him crawling away, it's just your memory that night because you were tired.
That is correct.
Your claim is that you were not trying to create perception from the police that this was a justified shooting by making that stuff up.
I'm not really sure what you're talking about.
Talking about the claims you made that have no basis in reality and the reason why you were making those claims.
I was making those claims to try and help piece together the situation to help the police.
Isn't it easier that you were making those claims to piece together a so-called self-defense claim?
I didn't know what a self-defense claim was that evening.
Except that you explained to the officers that because he was coming at you, I needed to protect myself and my family. That was a lie, but it's self-defense, isn't it?
That is not a lie. That is exactly what I was thinking. I'm sorry, I'm not an attorney. I don't know what a self-defense claim consists of
You think
until
you
I
need to
started
be an
this process.
attorney to know whether somebody's crawling away, dying?
Well, now we're talking about something different. Now we're talking about somebody crawling away dying. You just said a self-defense claim. I can only answer the questions you're giving.
Sure, but you use the actual terms of, I needed to shoot him, in order to protect myself and my family.
That is correct.
Okay. Except that he wasn't really coming at you anymore, right?
He believes he was.
When you pulled out the gun before you shot him, he wasn't coming at
He
you.
was coming at me when I pulled out the gun.
He wasn't coming at you anymore after you shot him in the head and he started crawling back. towards
Asked
his
and
house.
answered. Oh my God.
Again, I don't know when I shot him in the head.
He wasn't coming at you when he was on the ground crawling away from you before you emptied 5 rounds into his body.
That is correct.
He wasn't walking away holding his abdomen after you shot him 5 times.
That is correct.
All of those claims were lies, correct?
All of those claims were what I believed happened that night. As we saw in the video, that is not what happened.
I may have more. Thank you, Your Honor. Those were my questions.
Wow, that's it.
Thank you very much. Can I actually just have a moment to shuffle? I just want to gather some of my materials.
Wow. I didn't think he was going to be done with them that quick.
Thank you. Sorry.
Jason, let me ask you a few things that you definitely remember, okay?
Yes.
Would it be accurate and true that Kyle initiated the contact with you?
That is correct.
This is
Any
all that
doubt at all?
matters.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And when he initiated that contact with you, did he threaten you?
Yes, he did.
I'm going to ask you whether it's true that Violet stuck his face right into your face.
That is true.
Okay, now, if you were fabricating a self-defense, let me ask you this. We got to see the video, right?
That is correct.
Do you remember even telling the police that he stuck his very flesh on your flesh that night?
That I don't remember.
Right. But if you were fabricating a really good self-defense, that'd be a cool thing to tell him, wouldn't it?
I guess I'm not sure what a self-defense really is completely, so.
But the fact of the matter is, in the video, it is extremely clear that he touched you with his face, right?
That is correct.
Police ever ask you whether or not he literally touched his body to your body?
I can't be 100% certain.
Did you take that as a threat when he did it?
I absolutely did.
And isn't it true, and do you have a clear recollection, that Violet appeared out of control and agitated?
Yes, that is true.
And is that what you told the police?
I believe so, yes.
Now, there's been some cross-examination. I think there's been a little confusion, and I want to straighten it out a little for you. There's a reference to the October or November incident. Remember, you were being cross-examined by the prosecutor in the beginning of his cross-examination, and he referred you to page 142 and 143. And I'll ask you to
Yeah. Hold on just a moment, please.
get those up for yourself. And let's give the jury the totality of what we're talking about instead of little snippets, okay?
Okay.
Now, you remember the October event clearly, don't you?
Yes.
You remember that without any question, right?
Yes.
And let's see what we got here. Detective Garson's asking you, I guess 6, 7, 8, what was happening back then?
Yes.
And then you give an answer, and it starts on line 10, right?
Yes.
Why don't you tell the jury what you told the detective with regard to your recollection of the October 2023 incident?
I'm sorry, I just want to be clear. Did you want me to read this? Or?
I do.
Okay. It says, I said, right. So, I mean, I was standing out pressure washing the front of my house. It was, I want to say it was fall, but it doesn't seem like it's been long since that happened. But again, time flies, right? Anyway, in the past few months, we'll say, there's only been one day I was out front pressure washing the house. And this guy came out of the driveway next door at 43 Summer Street, yelling and screaming at me, telling me I'm a rat, and I called the cops on him, and he was going to fucking kill me and my fucking family.
Okay, stop right there.
Dang.
It says that you called the cops on him, right?
That's what I said, yes.
And that he was going to fucking kill you and your family.
That is correct.
It was not a conditional threat there. Is it?
Nope.
I don't believe conditional. I'm not really 100%.
All right, it's a threat, right?
That's correct.
Okay. Okay, why don't you go on?
I don't even know who he is. I'm assuming he probably lived there because he came from that driveway, but I've never seen him before.
Okay, so you're telling the detective that in that incident, you didn't even know where he was, who he was, right?
That is correct.
And you were assuming he was your next door neighbor, right?
That is correct.
But it goes on, right? And then Garson says, yeah, and then on line 25, you continue. What do you say?
I have no knowledge of him or anything.
And Garson says, you don't even know his name.
And I said no clue.
Right, now we're talking about October, right? Right?
October, November, yes.
And you didn't know his name then.
No, I did not.
You assumed he was your neighbor, right?
That is correct.
Okay, keep going. No clue, and what does Garson say?
Yeah.
Okay, and then you say,
I never had an interaction with him at all, ever in my life.
you're talking about the October incident.
Objection leading.
Correct.
Objection leading.
No.
What?
That's not
incident are
leading.
you-
Stop
To
it.
be complete, I'm not actually sure.
Garson says, yeah, right?
Right.
And then you say, what do you say then?
And I said, I wouldn't be able to pick him if you said, here's 3 people, pick one of them as your neighbor. I honestly wouldn't be able to pick him. I had never seen him before.
All right. Now, by April 4th, you had seen him before, right?
Objection leading.
Had you
What?
seen him
Didn't he
prior
ask
to
the same
that?
questions?
Sorry, had you seen him prior to April 4th?
One other time,
And when was that?
October or November.
Now, there's definitions of lies, there's definitions of mistakes, there's definitions of inaccuracies. Did you intentionally intend to deceive police department when you sat down voluntarily to give a statement?
No, it just
April
worked for
4th
20
to April 5th.
4 hours.
24th.
Absolutely not.
And again, what were you trying to do?
I wanted to help them figure out what went on.
And was one of those helping things the video?
Absolutely. My memory, like I said, I was tired. My memory wasn't completely clear. I figured with the video
Yeah.
and with me, we could get through and find out exactly what happened and clear, so we had a clear picture of what happened.
Now, you've gotten to see some of the videos, right?
Yes, I have.
Can you assure the jury that it was a quick situation that night?
Absolutely.
Were you making measurements or timing anything or anything like that?
No, I was not. It happened very quickly.
And
Yeah.
in your position that you were at,
It's reactive.
At the time, were you in a situation where you could make clear calculations?
No, I was not.
You know, the prosecutor asked you to speculate as to whether or not
You did ask me.
Violet made any actions or said anything toward your daughter, right?
But objection to characterization, I didn't ask him to speculate, I asked him to testify whether he saw it.
Okay, did you see whether or not he did anything toward your daughter?
I did not see him do anything towards my daughter.
But where was your daughter?
She was in the truck.
How far away was your daughter from Violet?
Great questions.
At which point,
At the time he came up and stuck his nose on your cheek.
I would say approximately 6 feet, maybe 8 feet, the distance of a vehicle from one side to the other.
And was she in the front seat?
She was in the front seat.
Was there a clear glass windshield in the front of the truck?
There was.
Can you see through it?
There was. Yes, you could. I mean, I believe I wasn't facing that direction, so I guess I believe you could, but I didn't look that way.
Were you concerned for her safety at that time?
Absolutely.
The video camera questioning that you had for the prosecutor, you got new video cameras after the October event, correct?
Correct. The digital video, closed circuit ones. I did have some Wi-Fi ones before that.
And why did you get the digital ones? This is make sure we're clear on the point.
Because I was having issues with the connectivity with the Wi-Fi cameras. I've actually had to get a new router system. That for some reason, those two cameras don't always connect, or they don't record events, so it just wasn't consistent.
And why did you want them to be consistent and accurate?
In case there was another incident, then if I had to go to the police or whatever, I would have proof of what happened instead of it was he said, she said.
Sounds like
That
what a
was
normal
specific
person would do.
reaction, was it?
That was.
Yeah, this is pretty straightforward to me. I don't know about y'all.
Were you trying your best to remember things at the police station?
I was.
Were you willing to go over anything they wanted to go over with you?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Just briefly,
Let's do it.
just, concerning this, your ability to claim who was making this threat 6 months earlier, I want to continue to follow up on 36. This is page 143. You confirmed that whoever made the threat, you'd never had any interactions with them before, and yet Kyle Violet had been living there for about a year and a half, correct?
I don't know.
You said whoever that person was out there, I couldn't pick him out of a lineup, correct?
Yes.
You said, and that's even assuming he is my neighbor. Whoever made the threat back in October, you didn't know who they were.
I was saying I didn't know if that person was my neighbor.
The attorney sister just asked, geez, if you were, trying to tee up a self-defense claim, wouldn't you have included that he actually had physical contact with your face? Remember him asking you that?
Again, this self-defense claim, I'm not sure. I don't understand that. I don't get what the basis would be or how I develop one. I don't understand how the law works like that. So when you keep referencing that, I want to make sure I'm giving you an honest answer and complete. So
Sure.
Is there any other way you can work so maybe I can understand?
Yeah,
but
I guess
give you a good answer?
let's talk about your understanding of self-defense.
Sure.
You own a firearm.
Yes,
It's not a hunting weapon.
that's correct.
You described to this jury that the reason you take this firearm to work is because you were threatened with a machete.
That is correct.
That would be so if something like a machete wielder came at you again, you'd be able to defend yourself.
That is correct.
That's self-defense.
You said self-defense claim.
Yeah, the claim would be somebody came at me with a machete but never did. Okay, that's a claim. That's a false claim of self-defense. All right.
That did happen, though.
Yeah, I don't contest that. A claim of self-defense would be something like, oh, Kyle Violet continued to come after me even after I pointed a weapon at him. That would be a false claim of self-defense because he actually stopped. It was no longer a threat. That would be the claim, okay?
If that's what you want to say. Again,
Does that make sense to you?
so you're explaining that's what the claim.
I'm asking you, does that make sense to you?
I believe so.
Does it make sense to you that a claim of self-defense would include something like, I shot him, but didn't affect him at all. He may have flinched.
That was me not having a clear memory.
Okay. Would you understand this to be a false claim of self-defense, that I shot him and he continued to come at me when he really didn't? Does that make sense to you?
Again, that was me trying to remember and having a false memory while I was trying to construct what happened.
Would it make sense to you, a false claim of self-defense, that somebody was on the ground crawling away from you and you claim that they were actually coming at you? Do you understand that as a false claim of self-defense?
Again,
Nope.
I understand what I said in here. I was giving it the best representation I could at the time.
And just, to get down to a more narrower point,
Dang. Oh, why'd they mute the sound? Can y'all not talk to the police, please? Especially in a situation like this.
Whether you had included in your claim, because if you were trying to confabulate a self-defense claim, you would have included that he touched your face, that he touched you physically, right? Remember him asking you that?
Again, I don't remember if anybody asked me that.
Okay. Let me just make it simple then. You did tell the police, this is page 40, line 14, 15, because he was literally, his nose was touching my face.
I believe when Attorney Sissy asked me, I was not sure.
Okay, and here it is. You did in fact make that claim.
Absolutely.
You did not omit that. That really did happen, correct?
That did happen.
You weren't too tired to omit it, you weren't too confused to omit it, correct?
Omit, I don't know.
Omit, not stated.
I'm
40,
not, can you,
14, 15.
again, can you just, I'm not sure what you're asking me right at the moment.
Well, I'm asking you right now.
Did I say that?
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Okay, so that being, you touched your face with his nose, correct?
Yeah, I did say that.
And let me just make this really clear. When Kyle was in that original wingspan in front of your truck,
Yes.
making these threats about snow,
Yes.
you didn't shoot him, right?
No, I did not.
It was only after you claimed he was coming after you, despite brandishing your gun, that you shot him.
So, yeah, that is correct.
It was only after that he continued to come after you, after the first shot, that you put 5 more rounds on him when he was standing and increasing his pace towards you.
Again, that's not what happened we saw from the video.
But it's
What
what-
I said in here was what I remembered at the time, and I was trying to help with what I had from memory, which obviously was not correct.
Well, it was actually a lie, wasn't it?
If you'd like my definition of a lie, that's purposely not telling the truth. What I was trying to do was take whatever memories I had and piece them together with the detectives to try and figure out what happened.
And just finally, can you confirm that it was in fact Detective Garston that brought up any video associated with that night of it?
I was the first one to bring up cameras at the house, then he asked me if he could have access to them.
Okay. So early in the conversation,
Yeah,
you said
Jason's-
that you had a video
it's great
back in
testimony.
October, correct?
That is correct.
And then later in the conversation, and by the way, when you brought up that there was video, you didn't suggest to him, hey, take a look at this video to come to a better understanding about what happened, right?
I don't remember the exact sequence of events, but I'm sure we can read it in the testimony.
In fact, it's at page 66, line 18, that it was the detective who asked, are there any cameras to cover this incident tonight, correct?
That is correct, and I said yes.
He brought it up, correct?
I'm sorry, what?
Detective Garston brought it up, correct?
He did ask me that question, that's correct.
Thank you.
He asked you the question, you said he didn't have.
That is correct.
But he didn't have the answer.
Leaving, I think it's beyond the scope of,
Let's go, it is leaving. What did you tell him after that?
I said yes, he could have them, and I gave him the passwords for them.
Okay.
I think Attorney Barr reiterated something that's actually true. You accurately and distinctly, without any question, remember telling the police that.
Yeah, back to form again, Your Honor. Yep.
Kyle filed that, touched you with his face. Was he judging? No, it's fine. Touched you with his face.
Yes, I did say that in there that I said that to the police.
Great, thank you very much. This witness can be excused. Should we take a break this point, or we take a brief recess? We'll take a brief recess, folks, and we'll be right back.
All right, there it is. The testimony of Jason Levesque. What do y'all think? We made it through. I think he held strong. Prosecutor wanted to point out these minor inconsistencies. We don't care if he turned around, if he was about to hop in a helicopter and take off into the sky. This man was in his yard, threatened him, which the prosecutor hasn't argued, nose to nose, face to face. If he turns around and walks off, you getting all the, nah, nope. But either way, that's my opinion. Y'all let me know what you think about this in the comments and in the chat.